Yo, we're back in After Effects. So in today's video, I'll be showing you how to create this like 3D Glock animation with like a Glock Shatter effect at the end. It looks insanely smooth and we'll be using Element 3D to do this. So let's just get into After Effects and show you how to do this. So in our channel, I have this clip right here. This is actually a music video that I'm editing for. It's my guy Spooky. So big shout out to him. He saw this footage right here. So firstly, to start off, what we're gonna do is add a new solid, of course. So add a new solid right here. It can be any color and then hit OK. And then we're gonna add element in here simply. So add element. After you add element in your black solid, don't go to the scene setup yet. What we're gonna do is select our footage, go into the right side where it says tracker right here, and where it says track camera, just hit that, and then go to the advanced and just hit detail analysis, so it like properly tracks our footage. Then now after your tracker is done, you can see all of these track points in your footage. So I'm gonna select one in a background and create a solid and camera right there. Now if you play that through, you can see it is tracked properly right there. That's exactly what we want. You can scale it down, of course, so like here. So yeah, you can see it is properly tracked. Now what we're gonna do is hide this track solid and then go into the black solid. You can rename it like element if you want to make it clear for you, and then go ahead over to the scene setup right here by clicking the scene setup box, and then it will open up this like new panel, and in here we're gonna import our Glock model. So for that, just hit import, and you can see this is my 3D model pack. Comes with like 40 plus 3D model for y'all to use in After Effects. You can use it in any 3D software basically. So it comes with OBJ formats, fx, and also GLB, so you can use it directly in After Effects without element, or if you have element you can use the OBJ to get better results, of course. And yeah, 40 plus model, all designed for music video, so it is all related to like music video effects and stuff. So if you want to check it out, I'll link in the description. Totally dope of a pack. But anyways, from the pack I'll be using the Glock 19 model right here. Open the Glock 19 OBJ, hit open, hit OK. Then you might not see anything because it is like very small. To make it big, just hit normalize size, and you can see our model is right here ready to go. Now of course you can go ahead and start like messing around with the materials according to your liking. So maybe I'ma not go with this black tone and use like a gray stone right here, something like this. Yeah, something like this looks cool to me. And even in here I'ma make something like that. Yeah, you can really like style it however you want. You can see I toned it around like something like a brown type of look right here. That looks super cool. And then now what we're gonna do is go to environment, and basic environment we're gonna set this to, my bad, we're gonna set this to custom layer 1. For now it will show all black because we haven't selected our custom layer, but now we're gonna hit OK and go back and go over to where it says custom layer, custom texture map, and just select our footage as the custom texture map, so it like uses our footage as the texture map. So yeah, now if you play that through, we have the Glock on our scene and it is like properly tracked to our footage. Now we can start adding all the animations and stuff. So we're gonna open up our group 1 for that, close our custom layers for now, go over to where it says create group null and create a group null right here. What it will do is create a group null which you can use to like control your Glock. So I'm gonna position it something like this in the rotation, something like this, and position it at the right side. So around like here, I mean the left side, of course. Yeah, something like that, as you can see. Now what we can do is go to where it says render setting, go to lighting, and in add lighting just set it to 360 or something, and just like play around with your lighting, of course. Yeah, maybe something like this looks real cinematic. Yeah, that looks clean, bro. And then you can go to ambient occlusion, turn that on and bring it up, so it gives some shadow right there, which I really love. But yeah, let me find a good lighting spot for now. Yeah, maybe something right there looks cool to me. Then now we can start adding the animation by hitting the position keyframe and bring up all the rotation and hit the stopwatch in the rotation as well. Put this where you wanna end the animation, so around like here, and go over to the beginning and make the Glock go out of the scene at the first, maybe in the other side somewhere around like here, and in rotation you can just add a 1 cycle right there. Then you can select those keyframes, easy ease those. Either you can go to the graph and just make a graph like this right here, like this. But for me, what I'll be doing is using this extension called flow to add graph real easily. So in flow, I'll select all of these, select this graph right here, hit apply. So you can already see we have a smooth graph right there going on. Now you can see we have the starting animation done, but what we gonna do now is make the shatter animation. So for that, I have a marking in our timeline, as you can see. So we're gonna be using that as the point where we wanna like shatter the Glock. So now in here, to shatter it, we're gonna go to particle replicator and open up particle looks as well, and open up multi-object and enable multi-object right here. Now if I already play with the rotation, you can see it is like scattering up in like different like parts. So that's exactly what we want. The good thing about the 3D model you'll find on my 3D model pack is like if you can like displace it like this and it will look real cool. Not all of the models have this feature, so yeah, that's the reason why I used like my pack at the first place. There's bunch of methods scatter it, but I'm gonna scroll down where it says scatter x, y, z and hit the stopwatch in there, right there. And right from here, I'm gonna go over to the end frame and bring it up. So something like this, something like this, and something like this maybe. So it like completely like destroys itself. Then you can also like play around with displace x with it, x and y. If that helps, you can like keyframe those as well, and maybe something like this, maybe something like this. And then you can hit the stoppers in random rotation, bring up the keyframes, put this over here and just rotate it, something like this. So now if you play that through, you can see we have this real cool animation of our Glock scattering already, but we're gonna make it more impactful by just adding this graph over here as well, so it happens like real quickly right there. That looks super smooth, bro. Then of course you can play with the position as it goes, maybe bring it over here as that happens, maybe something like there. You can even go over to the graph of the position and mess around, and yeah, that looks super clean. One more thing I like to do in here is go over to multi-object and inside hit the stopwatch, go over to the end, and as it goes lower it down to 0, so it like completely like disappears as it goes right there. And you can also make a graph like this in here. I'm using flow for it, of course, but right there it looks super smooth now. So now all our like animation part is done, so now we can start like finalizing this effect and making it look actually awesome. So for that, we gonna firstly turn on the motion blur by hitting this right here. It would add a lot of these like motion blur that I really love, helps it blend it all together. Now in here I also like to add a lumetri color with it and try to match the color according to my scene. So maybe something like this, something like this, something like this, and yeah, something like there. And you can go over to color wheels and just like make it a little blue tone as in our footage, and already that looks super fire. Then after this you can add a optical glow in here for the glow and bring it up, bring up the highlights only and bring up the amount, bring it up more and set it to extended amount, of course. And yeah, that looks super clean. That glow looks super clean right there. And right where it scatters right here, what I'm gonna do is add a tritone and make it red, so something like this, and hit the stopwatch in blend with original, and as it goes just slow it down to 100%, so it like turns into red right here, and before that turn into 100% as well. So even though it is like red, it looks super hard. And then you can add a curve in here, make a S curve, so it like helps it to like blend everything right here. And lastly we're gonna add a camera lens blur in our background, and as the globs comes in, just like bring it up a little bit right there so it like focuses on, and then just like get the focus back onto our footage, and do the same thing, add a camera lens blur in our Glock model, bring it up at the start to around like 20, and as it goes just slow it down, and as it goes at the last just bring up the camera lens blur, something right there. And with that you can add another adjustment layer at top and add something like a CC vignette and point it at our Glock right there here and just like animate it so it goes from 0 to up and right there, and as it goes at the end you can just slow it down to 0 as well. And of course we're gonna add RSMB at our 3D model as well to get that motion blur we want. But that right there, we are almost done, of course, and it looks super smooth. But to top it all off, I'm gonna use a preset from a preset pack, so adding an adjustment layer. And in FX and presets, in animation presets, in user presets, in Essential FX V2, we're gonna be using something like a horizontal wiggle transition right here and line up the keyframe exactly where it happens. And that right there, if you play that through, that looks super clean. But what I like to do in here is go over to where it says distort chroma, and in the distort chroma graph I'm gonna make it so it like disappears really fast and has the wiggle in it. And yeah, that looks super clean. Lastly, I swear this is the last time I'm saying this, but I'm gonna add an adjustment layer real quick, hue and saturation right in top of our like footage there, and with like shatters our Glock, I'll make it so our like footage go desaturated and comes back in right there, so it looks like real like impactful, you know what I'm saying. And then you can even go to optical glow and hit the stopwatch in the amount and just bring up the optical glow like crazy at the way it like scatters up, and as it goes just make it to normal. And with that, I guess we are done. Yeah, finally. And our final effect looks something like this. It looks super smooth, you already know. But yeah, if you like this video, please consider the like button and also subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. If you want to check out the pack, it will be linked down below. But I'ma see ya on the next one. Peace.